Good evening, and I welcome you, students, for a very important topic for the coming exam, student solid state. The important point to note, you already know, student, you already know that what we are aware, there are three states of the matter. You are aware of it, student, three states of matter. Three states of the matter, students. Are
Yes, sir. Aware, sir.
okay. What are those? You are aware of solids,
Yes, sir. Liquid. Yeah.
and gases, student. And these three are important, and in fact most of the substances around you, student, are solids. Wide large number of solids can be seen around you, student. Now what is the properties? Everything is made up of constituent particles. Everything is made up of what? Constituent particles. You know about it.
Yes, sir.
There are constituent particles, students, of which the matter is made up of atoms, molecules, ions. These are species, students. Now there are two important things which will help in forming three states of the matter. What are those two important things, students? What we see. One, you are saying there is a intermolecular, student, forces of attraction between
Yes, sir.
the constituent particles, between the constituent particles, student. The particles are there, atoms, ions, or molecules. You have atoms, you have ions, student, you have molecules. So what is happening, student? There is a attractive force between them. If I say, okay, this is a, these are the particles, student, these are the particles, then there is a some force which is attracting, this is attracting, they are attracting, student, each other. There is an attractive force which is existing between these particles. The result of this, student, what happens then? Second, third important point is there is a thermal energy, student, thermal energy.
Yes, sir.
The temperature, due to the temperature, student, there is an energy in these particles with which they are moving, student, they are moving. But the question is, if the two things are there which will decide what type of state which will we have, students. When intermolecular forces are very strong, student, intermolecular force of attraction is strong, then what happens? In solids, you are saying in a solid, student, the intermolecular forces of attraction are strong. ठीक है? They are strong, student. And the result of that will be, if these forces are strong, student, what will happen to the distance between the particles? So the consequence of this will be, student, the distance between the particles will be very small. Distance between particles will be very small, student, will be very small. So there is a
Yes,
strong
sir.
attractive force. So they are very closely packed. You can say that in a solid, these particles will get closely packed, student. They are touching each other. They are closely packed. So the molecules that make up the solid, what is happening? They they can be, you see, attracted strongly, and they are not moving as they can see in the liquid, but they are only vibrating about the mean position, students. So they are held firmly, student, and they can only vibrate. They can only vibrate,
Vibrate.
students. So
Yes,
we
sir.
are aware of this, that for example, here we have shown a picture of the solid. The molecules that make up solid are arranged in regular repeating patterns. They are held firmly in place but can vibrate. These particles have come very close to each other. These are the molecules which make up the solid. So there is a very little separate distance between them. They are touching. You can see they are touching each other here. And there is some vacant space which you can see between them, which will be discussed. So for attractive force, strong distance, very small, close packing, and they will become, student, very rigid. It will be not possible to compress them because there is no space, as you can see. But in liquid, the molecules make up a liquid flow easily around one another. As you can see, they are kept from flying by attractive force. There is an attractive force, but much weaker than that in the solids. So they can still move. This particle can move, student, to another site, and similarly this particle can move to another such emotion is allowed, but they are still tied up student by attractive force. But in gas, what has happened, you can see the molecules of the gas, they are moving farther away from each other at each other. They are randomly moving, and the interact force of inter atomic force or whatever intermolecular forces of attraction are there, they are negligible. They are negligible. So we say the intermolecular attractive forces are insignificant in the case of the gases. And students, they have definite shape and geometry, and the liquids will take the shape in the container in which you put them. Volume will remain the same. But what is happening in gas, students? Then you can see these particles are randomly moving at great speeds. The force of attraction is negligible. And there's another state which we are not going to discuss, only plasma, we have shown it. At very high temperatures of stars, atoms lose their electrons, and the mixture of electrons and nuclei result in plasma state of the matter. Student, this is not our course here. So we're going into those plasma. Okay, then I say that this topic is for solid. So our main objective is to study the solid, students. What do we want to study in this topic? Solid, the general characteristics of the solid. What are the general characteristics? What are the general properties of the solid, students? You are aware that solids have definite mass, volume, and shape. Intermolecular distances are short. Intermolecular forces are strong. Constituent particles have fixed position and can only oscillate about their mean position. They are incompressible and rigid. Very important point, student. They are incompressible, rigid. Can you change the shape of or volume of a solid? No, it is fixed. They have definite mass, volume, and shape. And intermolecular forces, since these particles are, you can see, closely packed, strong intermolecular interacting forces are there, and these particles can only vibrate, student. They can only vibrate due to thermal energy. There is some vibration here, but they are not moving from this particle is not moving from here to here. The positions have been fixed, student, and only what we call as oscillations about the mean position.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so far so good about the mean position, students. Okay, then let us go further, student. Further important point to note down is that the solids have been classified into two types. One we call as a crystalline solid, student. And what do you have? Amorphous solid, students. Crystalline solids and amorphous solid. What are
Yes,
those
sir.
crystalline and amorphous solid, students? Crystalline solids, you can see rock salt, NaCl, which you are using at home also.
Mm-hmm.
They consist of large number of small crystals, and they have definite geometrical shape, student, and the arrangement of constituent particles is definite, ordered. What these crystalline solids have, they have, student, you can say regular, ordered, long range order. What I say, long range. Regular ordered arrangement of the constituent particles. Arrangement of constituent particles, students. There is a regular repeating pattern. The arrangement is repeating, student, as you will see in the case of sodium chloride, quartz. As you have seen here, you can see there is a regular repeating pattern. You can see regular repeating pattern, regular repeating pattern, student, regular repeating pattern. So this is a crystalline solid, crystalline solid. So what happens in the amorphous? This is a example of amorphous. You can see that is only a short range type of arrangement which is looking same, but overall you can see that there is no long range order, student. It has irregular shape. The arrangement of constituent particle in such a solid is only short range. So these are glass. Glass is an example of amorphous solid. Plastic, glass, plastic, glass, polymers, plastics, students, glass, polymers, they are examples of amorphous solids, and you do not see a long range order repeating pattern in them. They only have short range order, only short range order. So the arrangement of constituent particle is not regular, is not regular. So amorphous itself mean amorphous mean which has no form. Amorphous, no form.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here are some of the examples. So crystalline solids, you are seeing that there is a definite arrangement of the particles. Regular repeating pattern is there. Regular repeating pattern is there. The table chart which you are using is example of the crystalline solid. And then you have seen particles in which the arrangement is not regular. Student, these are the examples of this cotton candy or ice creams. Student, they are amorphous. Amorphous. As you will see them, there is no regular arrangement. This is your NaCl
Yes, sir.
crystals of sodium chloride. They are student. They have definite crystalline arrangement, means there is a definite repeating regular order, which we will see the structures of these compounds also. What type
Yes,
of
sir.
structures they have. So these ice creams or candy, student, there is no regular arrangement. They are amorphous. They are amorphous. These visual diagrams help us to understand the meaning more. Therefore, we have given them. Students, one of the question has been asked in the paper repeatedly. They are asking one or two differences which will be asked, can be asked. So we have to know what is the difference, student,
Hmm.
in the properties of the solids and crystalline substances. If I have student crystalline, what I'm saying, crystalline solids,
Yes, sir.
and you have amorphous solid, students. What do you think about the shape, student? Crystalline solids will have what type of shape? Definite
Yes, sir. Definitely.
geometrical shape. Definite geometrical shape. And what is the story of the amorphous? They have irregular,
Yes, sir.
they have irregular shape, students. And melting point, they melt at sharp and characteristic temperature. This is a very important point, very important. Question has been
Yes,
asked.
sir. Okay.
Crystalline solids, they have sharp melting point. What is the meaning of sharp melting point, student?
Hmm.
What do you mean by sharp melting point? Tell me. What do you mean by sharp melting point, students?
Sir. Um.
Supposing a solid melts at 75 degrees Celsius. And when 75 degrees Celsius will be reached, it will melt. The
Hmm.
whole of the solid will melt. That means sharp melting point. But if you have a solid, student, it starts melting at 45 degree and continues up to 70, 80. That means the melting point is not sharp.
Yes, sir.
So that it means it gradually softens over a range of temperature. It melts over a range of temperature, student. Range of temperature. I'm saying. Got the difference, students? Why it
Yes,
will
sir.
happen? What is the reason for this? Can you tell me what could be the reason for this, student? Why it should happen? What the melting point depends on. There is a these particles are held together by some attractive bonds or forces, students. And if this there is a long range order in these bonds or the forces which are holding these molecules or particles, what will happen? All have the same type of interactions, same type of distances, same type of bonding, student, long range, and at a particular temperature, student, they will all break.
Yes, sir.
Then it will melt. But supposing it is not a crystalline solid, then the arrangement at different points is different, student. There is no regular arrangement. So certain point it will melt, and at certain point it will not melt, student, at a particular temperature. because the interactions are not the same, the forces of attraction are not the same. There is no
Yes, sir.
regular repeating pattern, student. There is no long range order. So the inter-ionic attractive forces which are holding, which will be responsible, which we have to break for melting the solid are different at different points. Therefore,
Yes,
if
sir.
you get a sharp melting point in the case of a Manu solid, very, very important question has been asked in the paper, student.
Mm-hmm.
This is an important question was asked in the paper.
Yes, sir.
Number one, number two, number three, I am talking of cleavage property. What do you mean by cleavage, students?
Sir, breaking.
If you take a knife which is sharp as, and you cleave it, they will go
Mm.
into two pieces and you will generate student what type of surface, plain and smooth surfaces.
Yes, sir.
Smooth surfaces will be there when you will cut them, but here there will be no such thing. They will create irregular surfaces, students, irregular surfaces. What they will create? Irregular surfaces in this case.
Yes, sir.
Next, we are coming to heat of fusion, student. What do you mean by heat of fusion? Is also important point. Important because such a question will be asked. What is the heat of fusion? What is enthalpy of fusion, student? The enthalpy required to melt a solid into liquid. You have heard about latent heat of fusion. Latent.
Yes, sir.
What is latent heat of fusion? That is the enthalpy which must be supplied when solid will melt, and at that point temperature becomes constant, student. So if there is a definite and regular repeating pattern, long range order, what will happen, student? What will happen to their enthalpy or heat of fusion, student? They will have definite heat of fusion. Which one? The solids. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
They will have definite heat of fusion, students. But what will happen in the case if there is no regular repeating pattern or there is no long range order, student, then the arrangement is different at different points. So the enthalpy of fusion will not be definite. Say they do not have definite, means kilojoule per mole, enthalpy of fusion, the units which we use are kilojoules per mole. They
Yes, sir.
do not have definite heat of fusion. Important. Again, this is related with their arrangement of the constituent particles. Whether the
Yes, sir.
arrangement is constituent particle is regular or irregular. Another important property asked in the paper is anisotropy. What do you mean by anisotropy in nature, student? What do you mean by isotropy and what do you mean by anisotropy? We are saying crystalline solids are anisotropic.
Mm.
Anisotropic means, students, there are certain physical properties. What physical properties of the solids? What physical properties of the solids? I am talking of electrical resistance, refractive index, etc.
Yes, sir.
Electrical resistance, refractive index, refractive index. These show different values when you measure from different directions, student. Different values measured along different directions. What we get? Different values
Yes, sir.
in different directions. Why? Why do we get that? Because if you have a crystalline solid, students, what will happen? Supposing if I have a crystalline solid, you are representing that, okay, this is a arrangement of a crystalline solid. Supposing there are two different type of constituent particles. What is happening, student? They are repeating students. These
Mm.
are repeating regular pattern. They are repeating students. They are repeating, supposing three-dimensional. These are two-dimensional. Now, if I go this way, what type of particles I am getting? If I go this way, what type of particles I am getting? Same or different? So you can see you are getting different type of particles in different directions, students. in the case of crystalline solids. So the you are meeting different arrangement of the constituent particles in different directions, students. Therefore, the physical properties like electrical resistance and refractive indexes will change, student, with the direction of the crystal. You shift the direction of the crystal, the physical properties will change. That is called anisotropic. And
Yes, sir.
iso means same. Isotropic means same in chemistry, student. Iso word when I use in chemistry, I told you iso means same. So they have same physical properties. The reason is there is no regular pattern in the case of the amorphous solids. We have already told you. So you can move to different directions. There is no regular arrangement in any direction, students. Therefore, you will experience that their physical properties remains the same in different directions. Which physical properties I'm talking about, student? Refractive index, electrical resistances, etc. Is an important question has been asked. What is the difference between isotropic and anisotropic, student?
Yes, sir.
Another important point, what is the difference, student? Order in arrangement of constituent particles. They have regular repeating order of constituent particles of constituent particles. What they have? Regular repeating order of constituent particles, which we call as a long range order. Okay? And
Yes,
they
sir.
have only short range, regular repeating, short range. Note down, students. Note
Too
down.
much of
Point, students. Note down. Everything is important. There can be a question in the paper on anything. You have seen amorphous solids have a tendency to flow. Here we have shown crystalline solids are anisotropic. You can see the different, if I go in different directions, I will get different values, student, electrical and refractive index values, different values along different directions, student. That is what we call as an isotropy in crystals.
yes, sir.
This question has been asked many times in the exam, student. That is why we have shown it by a visual diagram so that you can see visual pictures, visualization. This chapter is imagination. This lecture is based on visualization, student. A lot of things we won't be able to see because there will be three-dimensional objects, student. We have to imagine, we have to visualize. Visualization and
Yes,
imagination
sir.
will help us a lot, student. Some you have seen the glass objects, ancient glass objects become milky in appearance, students. And you have seen amorphous solids have a range of temperature and can be molded and blown into various shapes.
Yes, sir.
Amorphous solids, glass, you can give a glass different shape. You have seen glass of different shape, student, because it's a amorphous solid. So you can mold them, and student, you can blow them in different shapes. In different shapes, students, amorphous solids. Okay? Some objects are found to be milky in appearance because of some crystallization. What happens? Sometimes there can be some crystallization when you cool them, student, and the result of that is there is some milkiness which appears. And these are called, sometimes these are called pseudo solids or super cooled liquids.
Yes, sir.
Pseudo solids or super cooled liquids.
Yes, sir.
Because these can flow, student, amorphous solids can flow. And
Yes, sir.
glass panes, fixed windows or old buildings, you can see that they are thicker at the bottom. Okay?
Yes, sir.
They can flow. Although they flow is, students, they do flow, their flow is slow. So what happens if you see very old buildings, students, you will find that the old buildings, if you see the windows of the glass, student, what you find, windows or doors, what you will experience, students, that these are slightly thicker at the bottom. They are glass windows, student, glass panes fixed to windows.
Yes, sir.
What we experience to them, student, are found to be thicker at the they are found to be thicker at the bottom
Yes, sir.
than at the top. Why? What is the reason for this? What is the reason? Because students, they are pseudo solids. What we have said, pseudo or supercooled liquids. With the as the temperature rises, they can flow, students, slowly and slowly. What happens? So the flow, student, due to the sun shining on them, slowly and slowly. What happens, students? There is a they can flow, and the result is that at the bottom, student, the glass becomes thicker. The glass becomes thicker. This is the some of the properties of the amorphous solids. So amorphous solids are, on the other hand, isotropic, because there is no long range order in them and irregular along all the direction. Therefore, the value of physical property would be same in any direction, which we have already told and shown you a picture of that, student. The question was given, why are the solids rigid, student? What is your answer? Why are the solids rigid? Why are the solids rigid, students? Why are the solids rigid? Because they are closely packed particles. When the particles are very closely packed and strong inter-attractive forces there, what will happen? You cannot compress them, students. And that is the reason they have definite volume, because the particles are very closely packed. These particles, students, in the solid are very closely packed, students. You have seen how closely they are packed. Did you see that? They are joining like this, students. So when the packing is very close, distance of separation is very small, and attractive force is strong, student. Therefore, it will not be possible to compress them. They are rigid, they have definite volume. Classify the following as amorphous or crystalline solid, student. You have 1 minute to answer the question fast. Which are crystalline and which are amorphous in these cases, students? Which solids are crystalline and which are amorphous, students? Fast. What is your answer, students? Question number 3. Amorphous or crystalline solid. What about polyurethane? Is it amorphous or crystalline, students? How will you identify amorphous or crystalline? You will see, student, polymers, all those which are polymers, students, they will be amorphous, student, and those crystalline substances, ionic compounds, are mostly crystalline. You will see that. So polyurethane will be amorphous, student, amorphous. Here naphthalene is crystalline, student, crystalline. Benzoic acid is crystalline, student. Teflon is a polymer, amorphous. Potassium nitrate will be, student, ionic compound. This is crystalline. This is a polymer, student, amorphous. Polyvinyl chloride. Fiber glass is amorphous, student, and copper, has a Crystalline structure, crystalline. So we can identify what type of substances are there. There are two types of solids which we told you, amorphous or crystalline. We can easily identify, student. Why is glass considered to be a super cooled liquid, student? What is your answer for this, student? Why glass is considered as a super cooled liquid? Because the glass can flow, student.
It can flow, sir. Yes, sir.
Glass can flow. So it's like a fluid, student. Like a fluid, it can flow. Refractive index of solid is observed to have the same value along all the direction. Comment on the nature of solid. What is the answer for
Yes,
this?
sir.
What type of solid is this?
Sir, glass. Sir, glass is crystalline.
Refractive index of solid have the same value along all the directions.
Sir, amorphous.
That means this is an isotropic or isotropic.
Sir, this is anisotropic.
Isotropic solid. Iso means same.
Okay.
Isotropic solids are amorphous solid.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, it is, I'm saying it is example of, student, amorphous solid. Now, if it is amorphous solid, student, would it show cleavage property? What will happen if I cleave it? On cleavage, student, what will happen? If you cut it with a sharp knife, what will happen, student? You will get irregular surfaces.
Yes, sir.
So it will not show cleavage property. It will not show cleavage property.
Cleavage property. Okay.
And there are certain one more important type of substances, student, which are called polymorphs. What are polymorphs, students? For example, carbon, student, can exist in two crystalline forms. What
Yes,
are
sir.
those? It has more crystalline forms, but two, one which we know so well, graphite and diamond. And you know they are called allotropes
Yes, sir.
of carbon, and they have different structure. What is the difference, student? These two, they have different structure. You are aware of the structure of graphite and diamond, student? They are different. So they can exist, student. Carbon can exist in more than one form, student, allotropes. And they such compounds are, such elements are also called polymorphs. So this is a polymorphs because it can show more than one allotrope. Which one? Carbon. Graphite, diamond, you have many other allotropes of carbon also, you know about it.
Yes, sir.
They have been made fullerenes and all that. Okay, these are some of the terms, student, which we have to learn. Now we are coming to very important part of that, student, where question will be there in the exam. This is a revision class. We will try to go fast, student, so that we can cover the course as fast as possible. The main purpose is that as soon as we are completing the course, the revision classes we are already on for the students, where I must tell you, revision is a must for the student. Yes or no? Tell me. Why the revision is required? Tell me. Because
Sir,
the
so
course
that we don't
content
forget,
is very
sir.
large.
Yes, sir.
Course content is very large. There is no student who can appear in the paper just by reading once. It will not help, because there are topics, there are subtopics, and you can see how much material is there. One line written in NCERT can become a complete chapter, student.
Yes, sir.
So we have to understand it. Every chemical reaction, every organic reaction I write, I should understand it. I should learn it. I will forget by the time exam comes, students. So unless I revise it, I repeat it, I will be nowhere. And I always tell the student, challenge them that yes, without revision, you are not going
Yes, sir.
to be giving a good performance. Student must revise the course thoroughly, completely. Must revise the course. Because we will
Yes,
find
sir.
how much memory you have, students, and how much material is there. It is not chemistry. You have chemistry, physics, five subjects you have, student, and what type of mind you have. Therefore, student, it is important to finish and revise the course so that we can give best of the best performance students in the exam, student. That
Yes, sir.
that is why you must continue to work each and every day. I am telling. Effectively,
Yes, sir.
you have 1 month. Paper is starting in May. March is over.
Yes, sir. True.
March is over. What is this? This March is going. Then uh, March is then you have only April and practical papers and all that will continue. Effective time is less.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, student, you must go faster and get the things finished and revise. Now I'm talking of
Okay,
student
sir.
classification of crystalline solids. This classification of crystalline solids on the basis of nature of intermolecular attractive forces.
Yes, sir.
Intermolecular attractive. What type intermolecular attractive forces, student? As I said, student, there are intermolecular forces. What type of forces are operating between these molecules when they will form, student, these crystalline solids? And
Hmm.
you can have molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, or covalent or network of solids. As the nature of inter-attractive force will change, the properties of crystal will also change. Right or wrong?
Right, sir.
So, if first of all, you will see on the screen, student, what we are talking of molecular solids. Molecular solid, students. And in the molecular solid, what type of intermolecular forces of attraction are there, student? In the case
Hmm.
of the molecular solid, you can see
Yes,
that
sir.
in this case, the forces are Van der Waals attractive forces.
Yes, sir.
You have read, student, in your 11th class chemistry. These are the weakest forces. They are very weak, attractive forces. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And in the Van der Waal also, there can be what type of solids can be there. First one we are saying are non-polar.
Yes, sir.
What are the non-polar? Where dipole moment is zero. Polarity is zero, student. And mostly what type of solids you have, student? What are non-polar? Non-polar molecules, student, you know. If I
Hmm.
have HH, if I have Cl, student, the two atoms are same. This is a covalent bond. This is a non-polar molecule. Then I write CO2, student. What happens in CO2? You are saying, sir, equal and opposite. Total dipole become zero because they cancel out each other. Here you can see, and if I write noble gas elements like argon, if I take argon solid, student, or CCl4, these are having zero dipole moment. They are non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules. These molecules
Yes, sir.
are, student, non-polar. So what is the force in them? Attractive force in them? Tell me. What will be the attractive force, student, in non-polar molecules? Question to you. Tell me, what is the attractive?
Um, sir, they are London forces, sir. London forces.
They are weak van der Waals forces, which we call as London dispersion force.
Yes, sir.
London dispersion forces, they are the weakest. Therefore, these forces are the weakest, student. Attractive forces. The result of this will be, what will be the physical nature of such solids? They will be hard or soft, student? What will be the physical nature of this? The
So
force
they'll
is
be
very weak.
soft, sir.
They will be soft. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Will they conduct electricity?
Sir, they will not
There is no
because
free
no poles.
electron. Do you see any free electron here?
Yes, sir. No free electrons.
No free
No,
electron.
sir.
Free
No, sir.
electron
Sir,
is not
those
there.
will not.
Then they will be insulator. Insulator, student. And what will be their melting point, high or low?
Low, sir.
The force of attraction is weak, so if you want to melt them, they will easily break apart. There will have a low melting point. Clear? This will be the
Yes,
property
sir.
of non-polar. Student, question could be put up in the exam in objective type or assertive or reasoning in any form. Based
Yes,
on
sir.
each and every word I write, each and every word I speak, be noted down, student. That could be a question in the paper. And the second type are, student, polar molecules.
Yes, sir.
If I write HCl, student, it is polar. When I write sulfur dioxide, you are saying it is polar, it's bent molecule. What happens? Polar molecules, they have a dipole moment, student. What they have? A dipole moment. What they have? A dipole moment, student. There is some positive and negative charge separation.
Yes, sir.
This and you are saying is positive, this and you are saying is negative. So what type of interaction is this? What is the nature of the attractive force here, student? What
Sir, it is electrostatic. Yes,
what do you
yes, sir.
call it?
Dipole interaction.
Dipole interaction, student.
Yes, sir.
This is also a weak van der Waals force, but it is stronger than the first one. Again, what properties you are expecting for these students? Soft. There is no free electron, student. Then they are insulator, and they will have a low melting point. Low melting point. That was very low melting point. First one.
Yes, sir.
Low melting point. This is because there is a some negative positive ends, positive and negative dipole, student. Therefore, melting point slightly more than the totally non-polar type of solids. Non-polar molecules, student, non-polar molecules. These are covalent bonds. These are covalent bonds in them. The third one we are talking is, student, hydrogen bonded.
Yes, sir.
Interesting thing, as I said, that hydrogen bonding is a very, very important thing, student. Even in biomolecules, you have seen hydrogen bonding. That changes the properties of the molecules. Water becomes a liquid because of hydrogen bonding, student. And the result of this is a van der Waals force, but stronger than both of these, students. For example, in water, ice, you have strong hydrogen bonding, and again it is an insulator,
Yes, sir.
and melting point is low. Low melting point. Melting point is low, student. Melting point is low again here. Low melting point. But it is,
Yes,
you
sir.
will see, hard. It is not soft. Ice is not soft. It becomes hard due to hydrogen bonding, student. Ice has a hydrogen bonding. So this is the
Yes, sir.
first type which I have shown here. These are the examples: molecular, solid, non-polar, polar, hydrogen bonded. Forces are dispersion, London, dipole or hydrogen bonding. Examples are important. They may ask in the paper, student. And soft. This is hard, insulator, and very low melting point, low. Clear up to now? No problem.
Yes.
So this is the, we are classifying, student, crystalline solids on the basis of the nature of intermolecular attractive forces. The
Yes,
next
sir.
one are ionic solids, student. There is a great shift in the properties when you come from molecular to ionic solids. In ion means you will have ions, student. What do you mean by ion, student? If I have
Yes,
positive
sir.
and negative ions, if you have positive and negative ions, what happens? There are will be strong attractive forces. These are electrostatic forces of attraction, student. What are type of forces are here? You
Yes,
have
sir.
seen Coulomb's law, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi E naught 0 Q1 Q2 by R, student. There are charges here, charges, electrostatic forces. These are called Coulombic electrostatic forces. So when ionic forces are stronger, student, what will be the properties? They will become hard, brittle. Brittle, student, what is a brittle? If you heat them, there will be cracks in them. And
Yes,
in
sir.
solid, they will be insulators. When it is a solid, it is an insulator, student, because the ions are not free. But in molten state, what will happen? Molten state, what will happen? Important point. Or in put in aqueous water, what will happen? They will form ions when in
Yes, sir.
solution. These ions can move, student. Ions can are free to move. I will apply a potential difference. Ions will start moving, and then they
Yes,
can be conducting, student. They will become conductors. What we call electrolytic
yes, sir.
conductor, student. In electrolysis, we studied that. Studied electrolytic conductance. I've sent you YouTube video also on that, student. I'm solving a lot of
Yes, sir.
problems on that. Please watch those videos, are very important. Watch my coming videos, are very important for exam. I am being sending videos for exam, student, exam oriented questions on organic chemistry also, and I have uploaded on name reactions also. Must watch them for exam. 5 7 minutes one video will help you. You will understand the reaction mechanism also. Okay, do it with your
Okay, sir.
always. How will you study? How will you study, students? Notebook, colored pens, note down each and every word. Just like now you have a pen, you have a
Yes, sir.
notebook,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you
Obviously.
are recording everything. I am also writing. I am also writing, only not speaking because I have to write, student.
Exactly, sir.
I have to develop a habit that you should be able to write, student, in the exam. There will be errors and mistakes. So you have to keep on writing. And you want take time, student, take your time. You
Yes,
will
sir.
write your own book, student. You will write your own notes, student. Our notes are not going to help. They are just to explain to you everything.
Yes, sir.
We are explaining, we are decoding each and every word of NCRT book so that you can understand and answer any question in the exam. That is our purpose. Clear? So
Yes, sir.
work has to be done by you. Preparation is your, student. Can you go for exam without preparation? Tell me. Is it possible? No.
No, sir.
Any any player in any game, can he come without preparation, student? What performance will be there? Zero. First thing is preparation.
Yes,
Olympics
sir.
are coming. Athletes are preparing. Wrestlers are preparing, student, practicing so that they can compete in the coming events. Or if they don't practice, they are no longer in the game.
Yes, sir.
So if you are not practicing, if you are not working, student, you are out of the exam. What will you do? Nothing. That's why I say practice is required, revision is required. Make sure that this months you are not wasting, students, not wasting. And my lecture will be waste if you don't learn anything from me. Then what is the purpose of my lecture? My purpose is that my lecture should be effective. It should give you content, it should give you important questions, and it should help you understand the chemistry which is written, so that you are getting full benefit, 100% benefit from this every lecture.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are with me, students. You are with me. You have energy. Okay. Further. So what will be the properties of an ionic solid, student? They will be hard, and their melting point will be high or low. Important question has been asked in the paper.
Yes, sir.
Melting point will be high or low for ionic solid. Fast, tell me.
So panic solvent will be high, sir.
High, because the force of attraction is strong. You have to break the forces of attraction when you melt the solid, student. When these forces are strong, more energy will be required. Enthalpy of fusion will be higher, student, because the
Yes, sir.
potential energy which is holding this particle is strong, student. You have to break it. Got my point? Okay. Next we are coming to, here we are, ionic solids are ions, student. There are ions. What type of positive and negative ions? Positive and negative, and positive ions and negative ions, student. So Coulombic attractive force is there, Q1. What do you have? F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by R, student, which you already know. So you have plus and minus, student. Examples, ionic solid, they will be hard and brittle, student. Insulator in solid but molten state and aqueous, they will be conductor, student. Melting point will be high. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Noted?
Okay, sir.
Note down. Next we are coming to metallic solid. What is a metal, student? Copper is a metal, gold is a metal, silver is a metal, iron is a metal. They have a positive kernel and free electrons. But there is an electron, student, which are there. You have seen in the case of transition element, there are electrons in the outermost shell. If they form a positive ion, and electrons around them. If I'm
Yes, sir.
If you are saying copper is there, you are saying copper 2 plus is there, and there are electrons, free electrons. So many are there, so many are there, so many are there. How many? Large one mole will have how many? 6.02 10 power 23. These are the free electrons, student. These are the called kernels or positive. So these electrons are available, student, and the bonding between these, that attractive bonding between these are called metallic bonding. The larger the number of electron, students, which can form these bonds or unpaired electrons, which we have seen in the transitional, stronger is the metallic bonding, stronger is the metallic bonding. So
Yes,
attractive
sir.
force is metallic bonding here. Iron, copper, silver, gold, they will be hard, malleable, but ductile. Why they are malleable and ductile, students? Question put up in the paper now. See, the properties are changing as the nature of the inter-attractive force is changing. That's why our main purpose of this. What do you mean by classification on the basis of intermolecular attractive forces? Copper, silver, gold, student, you have free electrons, as you can see, mobile electron. These mobile electrons can carry the charge, student, they can carry the current, they can carry the heat, student, and because of these, they can be malleable and beaten into sheets and wires, student, malleable ductile. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That is why they are so important, so important. Do you see any building without aluminium? Do you see any metro station without aluminium? Aluminium is a very
Mm,
good metal, strongly being used in the building purposes. So there can be put into
yes,
sheet,
sir.
wires, students, malleable and ductile, because they are metallic, student. So they are hard but malleable and ductile. They are not soft, student. Aluminium is not soft, but it can be put into different shapes, student, sheets. So they are conductors in solid state as well as in molten state. Important point, student, they are conductors. So metallic solids are conductor, student, metallic solid. You are saying metallic solids are conductors in solid as well as in molten state. Why?
Yes, sir.
Electrical conductivity of metal is due to what? Is due to what? Tell me fast, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Metallic electrical conductivity of metal is
Hmm.
due to what?
So it's high, sir. Very high.
Due to electrons. Electrons which are there, which we have shown you.
Yes, sir.
So their melting points are fairly high, that you know. Next, we are coming to covalent or network solid, student, covalent or network solids. There is a covalent bonding. Covalent bonding is very strong, student. You are aware of it. Diamond is a covalent bonding, how strong it is.
Hmm.
Then silicon dioxide, quartz, diamond, they are very hard, they are insulators, and they have very high melting point. Student, diamond has the highest melting point. You have seen about that, student. So these are covalent solids, and what they have, student, network solid. Network solid structure. Network. You are aware of the structure, students?
Yes, sir.
Are aware of the structure of diamond and graphite, student, diamond and graphite. So you have covalent bonding is very strong, student. This is a strong bond. And
Yes,
silicon
sir.
dioxide, quartz examples are very important. Silicon carbide, diamond, aluminum nitride, they are hard insulator. There is no free electron, except graphite has got free electron, you know about it. So graphite is a one example, which is a non-metal but conducts electricity, and they have high melting point is very high, student, because the force attractive bonds, they form giant molecules, student, giant molecules. These are molecular solids.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, students, the story is like this. The key takeaway, what we have said to you, student, that in the solids, we have shown you, student, amorphous and crystalline solids. Yes,
Yes, sir.
and you have seen the differences between them. Question could be put up on what type of differences, isotropic and isotropic heat enthalpies of fusion, melting point, and then we have told you the examples we have given you, students, and then we have told you
Hmm.
the amorphous solids are sometimes called super cooled liquid, student, because they can flow. They behave like fluids, students. They behave like fluids. We have already told you, students. And then important point is, student, classification of them on the basis of intermolecular attractive forces.
Yes, sir.
And as the intermolecular attractive forces have been changing student from molecular solids to ionic solids, and then what we told you, ionic, molecular, then what you find, metallic, and the fourth one you have seen student, covalent or network solids.
Yes, sir.
Covalent or network, so their properties will also change. The properties will change students as the nature of the intermolecular attractive forces will change. Right or wrong? Tell me.
Right, sir.
All right, this ends up the first
Right,
part
sir.
of the solids. I hope you have enjoyed it, liked it, as we have tried to discuss some important questions also in every lecture which we are giving. We will go faster and faster to complete the chapter and then revise the courses, students. Okay, then I will meet you in the next class. When you want the next class, students?
Sir, I have my chemistry. I have my bio practical, board practical on 16th.
Okay,
So I'll tell you, sir. I'll tell you
okay.
accordingly.
All right, then bye bye, and I will see you in the next class. Okay,
Bye, sir.
okay.